I'm back again, and you all are gonna call me indecisive for being back on this channel and not focusing on my crocheting stuff. But I thought that I had a lot to share, or I do have a lot to share about my new experiences working at a school. And I just want to share more about like mental health in general. I feel like while crocheting is my passion, mental health benefiting more people. So I'm gonna switch back to here. I'm still focusing on, selling products like crocheted items and stuff, and I'm gonna do a lot more art fairs. From a YouTube standpoint, I'm gonna focus on my mental health channel. I've already come so far and it feels so bad to just let it go and leave you all disappointed while I'm constantly away doing other stuff. But anyway, as you can see, I am in a new setting. I'm not sure if I said anything in my last video about it, but me and Nick got a house. Still gotta get some things unpacked, but honestly, we're doing super well right now. I just wanted to share with you guys a lot of things about what's going on in our lives, what's going on in my life, how my mental health's been, how I've been managing. So, to start, I want to say my mental health has not been perfect. Even though I've made it this far, I've been doing really well at my job, and overall being pretty stable. I can tell that sometimes the stress is getting to me. Sometimes I can feel the swings a little bit with like more energy, like nearing manic sometimes, but never over the top manic episodes like I used to have. I feel like that is partly owed to the fact that I'm growing up a little bit. The brain develops until, for some people, the age of 26. And I am 26. I am getting to the age where the prefrontal cortex has been developed. I've been doing a lot better also because things are really stable here for me in general. I think that the environment and just the schedule that I have right now is pretty conducive to a healthy mental state. So there's that. But so far had various I've had various situations where I've been nearing the edge of either like depressed or manic, sometimes just freaking out about little things. A lot of times it is around that time of the month, which I feel like is normal. Sometimes it can be attributed to like the full moon or just, a lot of stuff going on. A lot of times it is just too much is going on and there's not enough time in the day to process and take care of everything that you need to do. When I get into those parts where I'm feeling a little more stressed, a little more on edge, a little more annoyed and irritable, I can notice it. I can be like, wow, that was a little bit too far for my emotion to go for that big of an event or that small of an event. One scenario that I had that I'll share with you right now is that I was just like, I don't even think I was overwhelmed that day, but there was just a lot going on overall, like in the last few weeks, because with the move and all the paperwork stuff that goes with it, and all of the school stuff I was dealing with, because just kids can be a lot. I love them to death, but they can be a lot and can take a toll on my own mental health, even though I'm helping them with theirs. And there's not a lot of time to vent to other people that are like my peers in the school setting. There's just not enough time in the day. So what happened was I was getting to the end of the day. It was like all the students had left already. I was talking to a bunch of teachers at the end of the day as well, but I got back to my room and I checked my phone and there's like an email from one of my house people. They wanted a bunch of information. I'm like, okay, let me send an email back. I'll like give them the information they need. And then within like the next 2 minutes, there's 4 more emails sent, separate chains. And I read each one. Each one is asking for like 4 or 5 more pieces of information. And I just become so overwhelmed in that moment. I get so frustrated because Nick wasn't included in the chain. And I was like, why is this only on me? Why is there so much going on? And I just lost it. I had a meltdown at school in my office. And I was like, so thankful that nobody else was there, especially students. But I was just like, really, in any other scenario where I didn't have a lot going on or there just wasn't as much happening at work that day, I don't think that would have happened for me. I wouldn't have had 4 emails being sent in a row with a lot of, questions in them be causing me a meltdown. But I feel like we all get to that certain point where we are just dealing with so much in life that we're on pretty thin ice with our emotions. And it can just take one small thing to push us over the edge and get us really dysregulated. And really, we could have been doing so well up to that point, and then someone who's observing that one small event that you just blew up to and be like, what's up with you? Like, why are you reacting that way? But really, you had been holding it in for so long. So, that being said, all of us should take time in our day to reflect on how we're feeling and reflect on what we can do to become more mindful, become more calm, and to address the things that are bothering us so that those blow-ups over small things are less likely to happen. And it's not like they can never happen or they're really bad. They happen to everyone, and I feel like it's just a natural reaction to a lot of stressors in life. This event can happen at any time and sometimes at the worst possible moment. So if we can, it's best to try to manage the times that we break down. And I know that sounds hilarious, but we need to be able to be in a safe space with people that will care for us and help us through something versus, imagine if I had been with a student at that moment, like how they might have reacted or seen me differently as a professional or even in front of another teacher. I'm not that close with a lot of the other teachers and supports right now where I work, so it'll be kind of embarrassing for me to have that kind of breakdown in front of them, especially since they don't know me that well, I don't know them that well, and we're still building that relationship. I don't want them to see that as one of their core memories or first impressions of me. In general, we need to, like I said, take time out of our day to reflect on how we're feeling, but also just try to be self-aware. I feel like that is such a big one, something I've seen with both places that I've worked at with mental health in the school and in the IRTS facility with adult men, is that, no matter where you are in life, being aware of the way you're acting and the way you feel is so crucial in being able to learn the skills and apply the skills, because a lot of times we don't always know in the moment what to do, but being able to be like, okay, I'm really upset right now, I need to take a step back and I need to think about things before I react and hurt somebody or hurt someone's feelings or something that we might regret later. And I feel like that self-awareness piece is the most important for anything else that comes after, because without self-awareness, we don't really have any follow-up, if that makes sense. I want to share general stories and kind of walk through them a little bit, explain how to move forward from a situation like that. I do really want to kind of tell those stories and broaden my horizons a little bit from, just bipolar. While bipolar has been a big focus of my channel for a while, I've also focused a lot on mental health. Focusing only on bipolar limits my channel a little bit, and also as I'm doing better and better, it's hard for me to share personal stories about terrible things that have happened to me and all these manic stories that do really well on my channel. It's just I don't want to have to induce a manic state to tell a story about it. That's just not how I want to do things, and I feel like most people would agree. But I think that it would be really helpful for me to walk through different scenarios that I've seen and talk about the positives, the negatives, and what could have been done in that situation. So moving forward, I will be trying to make a video weekly, hopefully uploaded on the weekend, but just keep your eye out. If you've gotten this far in the video and are still watching, please give a like to this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video with somebody else that you think might benefit from mental health tips. And also, just do your best to spread the word about mental health awareness, because I feel like it's such an important topic that isn't talked about enough. And although our society is improving as a whole, I feel like it needs to become less taboo. A lot of people are willing to say, I'm going to the doctor to, check something about my blood sugar or my high blood pressure, but less likely to be able to say, I'm going to a therapist because I'm struggling with this with my mental health. I think there's still a stigma surrounding it, and I'm here trying to help break that stigma. So I would really appreciate your help sharing my channel, sharing any mental health resources you find in the future, and staying tuned for my next video.